Hello, light leader. Have you ever felt that moment in fall when everything slows down? Like the air gets thicker, quieter, almost holy. That's not just the weather, that's rhythm. That's the earth changing its breath. That was the essence of the first Samhain, not a creepy holiday, but a whole season of transition, a rhythm between what was and what's about to be. I remember it, not as a story from a book, but as an echo in the soul. Back then, people felt the light pulling back. Fires burned on every ridge, not out of fear, but for connection. They painted their faces with ash and ochre to say to the spirits, "We see you, we are part of you." As the sun sank, the veil between worlds thinned. The air hummed with whispers, not of ghosts, but of ancestors checking in. People left offerings not from fear, but as thank yous. And tonight, that ancient rhythm is still alive. Feel the heartbeat under your feet. You're traveling to another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. You're traveling to a world of realization. Your next stop, infinite balance. Camera opens on a calm, thoughtful speaker in a warmly lit, natural setting. Perhaps a flickering candle or some autumn leaves are visible. Hello, light leader. Do you ever feel that moment in fall when everything just seems to slow down? The air gets thicker, quieter, almost sacred. That's not just the weather changing. That's rhythm. That's the earth itself taking a new, deeper breath. And that feeling, that shift, was the heart of the first Samhain. It wasn't a creepy holiday or even a single night. It was an entire season of transition, a sacred threshold, a rhythm balanced perfectly between breath and silence, between what was and what's about to be. I remember it, not from a history book, but as an echo that still vibrates deep within the soul. Imagine this. The mists rolled low across the highlands, so thick you couldn't tell where the sky ended and the hills began. The people back then didn't even call it Samhain, but they felt it in their bones. They knew the light was pulling back into the earth. The harvest was complete, and the long, quiet dark was coming. The very land had a heartbeat, and it was slowing, growing deeper. You could feel it through the soles of your feet if you just stood still long enough. And the fires. Fires burned on every single ridge. If you looked out from a high place, the whole world looked like a map of glowing orange stars. Each flame marked a home, a heartbeat, a prayer. This wasn't about fear, it was all about connection. As twilight settled, families brought their herds in close for the winter. The air was thick with the scent of peat fires and wild herbs. They would paint their faces with ash and ochre, not to scare spirits away, but to blend in with them. It was a way of saying, "We see you, we honor you, we are part of you." Children, wrapped in animal skins with feathers and antlers in their hair, ran laughing through the dusk like little forest spirits come to life. Then, as the sun finally sank below the horizon, something truly magical happened. The world became utterly quiet, as if the earth itself was holding its breath. And in that stillness, you could feel it. The veil between our world and the other world grew thin, almost transparent. The air itself began to hum with a subtle energy, and the wind seemed to carry whispers from afar. You'd catch these little flashes of light at the edge of your vision. They weren't scary or ghostly, just curious. It felt like ancestral presences leaning in, checking on their descendants. You could feel their love, like the universe itself was bending closer just to listen. People would leave bowls of fresh milk and bread on their doorsteps, and apples cut crosswise to reveal the little five-pointed star inside, a symbol of spirit and knowledge. These weren't offerings made from fear. They were offerings of gratitude. They were a way of saying, "Thank you for watching over us. Thank you for reminding us we are never truly alone." Next came the procession of the flame. Every home extinguished its hearth fire, plunging the entire village into total, profound darkness. Imagine that for a moment, no street lights, no phone screens, just the vast night and the sound of your own breath. Then, from a great sacred bonfire on the central hill, runners would carry lit torches down through the villages. One by one, they would relight every single hearth, bringing the flame back to every home. That flame wasn't just fire. It was the sun reborn. It was continuity. It was a powerful declaration. Yes, darkness is here, but so is the spark of life. Families gathered around that newly lit fire and told stories. They shared tales of heroes who crossed into the other world and returned with wisdom. And these stories weren't about fighting monsters or escaping death. They were about understanding death. They were about realizing that endings are never truly endings, they are doorways. And Samhain. Samhain was the hinge on that door. It was the turning point where life and death meet, shake hands and share their secrets. I remember the air on that night. It was cool and metallic, full of the scent of ozone and wood smoke. You could almost see the energy in the air, faint, shimmering shapes moving just beyond your sight. Animals, ancestors, flickering lights, and nobody screamed. Nobody ran away. They welcomed them because they understood a simple, profound truth in their very bones. We are all one people, the living, the dead, and the yet to be born. We are all part of the same cosmic breath, all individual sparks from the same eternal fire. That was the true spirit of the first Samhain. It was a dialogue between worlds. It wasn't about costumes or candy. It was about reverence. It was about respect for the great cycle of life and the courage to face the dark with a wide open heart. And here's the most beautiful part, that ancient rhythm is still alive today. Every autumn, every Halloween, every time the night grows quiet and you feel something stir deep in your chest, that is the old pulse of the earth waking up inside you. That's your soul remembering how to listen, because the veil isn't just between the worlds. Out there, it's between you and your own higher self. It's between the human and the cosmic, the now and the eternal. So tonight, or any night when the moon is out and the air feels electric, just take a moment, go outside, breathe in the cool silence, and feel the steady heartbeat of the earth under your feet, and just whisper to yourself, I remember. That's all it takes to step back into that sacred rhythm. It's how you light your own little fire in the dark and declare, I am still part of the story, because the first Samhain never really ended. It's still breathing. Right now, through you, let love, not fear, be your guide. Thank you for sharing this space with me. If this resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more journeys into the heart of things. Be well.